Hey,
Hey,
welcome to the Dynasty Dudes podcast. It's Bryce and Rob. It's been too long, guys. It really
glad to be
has.
back.
I
Glad to
hope
be back.
this recording works, man. I really am hoping everything goes perfect. I'm gonna keep
It just fixed itself through the magic of the internet, and we're good now.
I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
that's what it is. I think maybe what it is now that we're on a month deal, it may be something to do with Riverside. I maybe need to delete some clips.
Maybe.
I don't know. Let's just go with it. Let's see what
Yeah,
happens.
let's see how it goes.
Guys, I don't even know how we could, because the last time we were doing this, we were struggling for content.
Ugh.
And now it's like a fire hose. There's just nothing but content. Literally, we could just pick at every team and talk about it for an hour and a half.
We are recording
So-
on March 15th, and today was the hardest day to focus at work. I mean, my phone was just on fire.
I had to turn on the Pat McAfee podcast at 10 a.m.
Oh, yeah, easily.
It's just
An hour of Aaron Rodgers. It had to happen.
It was crazy. It was crazy. So, Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets, probably. I don't know. Pat, I don't know. Anyway, Rob, what do you want to talk about? What's your big thing? How about Juju? What about that?
I'll be honest. I know you said you wanted to open it up to me, but as the Jordan Love truther, I will concede Aaron Rodgers is going to the Jets. I mean, if that doesn't happen, the world will be upside down. We got to hear your thoughts. We got to hear the whole situation, everything as a whole. Tell us what you're feeling, man.
Dude, I mean, part of it is I feel pretty. This is exactly what I thought the case was. In terms of the relationship between Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, I didn't think it was a bad. I think we've kind of fleshed it out as much as we're going to flesh it out on this podcast. But I think the situation was a lot simpler than the pundits were making it. The Packers take the strategy of drafting the heir to the throne while they still have the heir, which no other team does. And so now they're 3 years into them, and they have to either, go with the guy or
But
don't.
I want to hear more. I want to hear your personal thoughts. Are you nervous with Jordan Love? Are you excited? What are the feelings there, man? It's real for the first time. It is coming to a head of he will probably start that first game.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it's tough to know what the expectations are. They're almost certainly going to pick up his fifth-year option here on May 20th or whenever they've got to pick it up. I think this is now, for a while, what I've been talking about Jordan Love, I've been talking very convictedly about, he is going to be the starter. I was very convicted of that, and it's turned out to be true. In terms of now, from here on in, of, how he's actually going to be as a quarterback, this is all speculation. I expect him to be pretty good. He's in a weak division, which is good. A lot of weak defenses in that division. Yeah, even though the Lions are looking better on offense, their defense is something to be desired. So I have solid expectations for Jordan Love. He's currently ranked on Keep Trade Cut as the QB 18, which is probably about right. He's right next to Pickett, Lance, and those guys.
You're excited. That's what I'm asking for. You're excited.
I'm excited for him to get the...
Not at all nervous.
Totally.
Not too stressed about it. I mean, your team kind of rides on him, so I expect some nerves.
I think it rode on him being a starter. I don't know if because again, he's not my QB1 unless he just is off the board. He's not the QB. He's not my QB1. So.
And then
we'll
Aaron Rodgers, the implications here.
See.
Are you excited for Jets players' futures? Are you excited for Rodgers next year? Does it change your valuations for anyone involved?
Yeah. I mean, it can only be good for Jets players. They were really battling quarterback play, and they were a team that it was kind of Aaron Rodgers or bust. So I think even though it's the whole 40-year-old quarterback with, kid wide receiver and Garrett Wilson, I think it's good for everybody involved. Alan Lazard, good for
Odell
him.
when they acquire him.
All good for exactly Odell. I think again the one guy you could maybe argue it's bad for would be Breece Hall, but
Dude, Aaron Jones has been awesome in Green Bay. I don't know why Breece Hall would be worse with Rodgers. You know, I think if anything, this ups my personal value of Breece Hall, which I know crazy to have me value a running back higher than I did before because it always just seems to go down. But I think that Rodgers likes his checkdowns. He loves getting that first down with the running back dump off. I think that there's hope there. I would assume, who's the tight end for the Jets right now? Do they have anyone under contract?
Yeah.
Cool. So expect them to finish outside the top 15. That's not new, but Rodgers tight ends aren't special.
Now,
so.
Yeah. There's even talk of bringing in Tunyon.
Yeah, he just keeps the quarterback safe.
It's pretty funny, but Marcedes Lewis just a blocking tight end. You know, it's not worth anything. Yeah.
I have a lot of thoughts. Oh my gosh! I mean, Juju to the Pats. I'm very excited and very nervous. I don't know if I've ever. He's the one right now. We like that. D-Hop, stay away. They're not a winning franchise right now. You don't want to go there. I think that I like Mac Jones less now than I ever have before. Like, I want someone more stable throwing the ball to Juju, but we'll take what we can get. I mean, at least he's not fighting with Travis Kelce for touches, right?
Totally. I think the other issue you're going to have there is they're probably
that's fine.
The worst
When you're
team in that
playing
now,
from behind, you have to throw the ball a lot. Who are they going to throw the ball to? 6'1", 27-year-old, knees maybe working Juju, and I like that. I'm cool with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, fair enough on that one. How about some of the running back chips that have fallen here? I don't know we got news an hour ago, maybe a little bit less, that Madison re-signed with the Vikings. That's a little bit surprising. Let me just list them off if I can think of them. Sanders went to the Panthers. Madison stayed with the Vikings.
Monty
James
to the
Robinson
Lions.
just signed with the Pats.
Go
ahead.
Who just went to the Eagles? It was Rashad Penny to the Eagles.
Monty to the Lions.
Travis Homer went to the Bears.
Rashad Penny. I'm
trying to think. Jamal Williams. Where did he sign? He signed with the Saints. Yeah. I think my biggest thought on all this is
he went
don't
to the
get
Saints.
Excited.
Yeah,
they're on new teams. We don't know who the starters are. But really, I wanted to go trade for Penny, and I had to slow myself down because it was like, oh, wait a minute. We don't know who the starters are going to be. We don't know if they draft someone. Running back free agency is a trap. You get excited. Right. Not all these guys are going to hit. Not everyone's going to be relevant. So take it slow. Hold off. If you can get them at a value, great. If you can get a bundle of them at a value, even better. But otherwise, drag your feet a little bit. What are we jumping the gun for? Because it's exciting, right? There's opportunity. There's guys opening up on, new teams where maybe they'll run the ball more or maybe they'll have a heavier share, But I mean, all you're going to do is it's like the way I see draft picks. You're risking a lot of value for unknown. And so, take it slow. Don't get caught in the hype.
Yeah. Rashad Penny's a funny
one. He has not,
right?
but when he is on the field,
that guy
he's healthy.
He's
an incredible runner. He's putting up monster yards. His yards per carry are great. Everything's attractive about it. Can he stay healthy? Otherwise, Boston Scott owners, congrats for just dragging that one around. That body's been sinking your ship long enough. Enjoy your RB26 finish.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's for sure true. So here's the rule on running backs in a PPR format. There are three ways a running back can be valuable in in PPR. Either you're a big pass catcher, that's Eckler. He's just catching all the dump offs. You're the goal line guy. That's Jamal Williams. He's just getting those goal line carries, so he's scoring touchdowns. Or volume, and that's Derrick Henry. He just pound the rock. And
if he's healthy, what is it that Sanders did last year that he can't do this year?
Jalen Hurts is the goal line running back. Gonna be in a
Sanders' value last year came from running, not from receiving, from rushing the ball. He had I think he might have broke 1,000. He rushed the ball efficiently and often, and finished at 14. I'm not saying he is. You're playing into what I said before, right? Don't get excited, don't make bad trades for these guys.
I do not think
but if I were to pick a moonshot guy, right, like a gamble guy, I'd trade a third for Penny. You're not going to get him at that value.
Yeah.
Whoever's been holding on to Penny desperately is really excited right now. But, yeah. They are praying.
Sure.
Ooh, there is a running back room I would say acquire pieces from, and I'm not joking.
They're praying.
The Dolphins.
I get it.
They signed Mostert.
Not.
Yeah, and it's great. Which that's a sham. Don't trade for Miles Gaskin.
They're
He's
literally
not worth
running it back with the same guys. They re-signed even Miles Gaskin.
Dude, Jeff Wilson Jr., Raheem Mostert, one of them went off every week. If you can get them super cheap, cheap, just as a throw-in for a trade that you already thought was fair, do it, because you will not be sad when that's your third running back. If you're starting them and you're two guys, that's going to suck. But if they're your fill-in on bye weeks or because someone went down to injury, I think those are players you will be excited to have.
Yeah, I don't inherently disagree.
Yeah.
It's an interesting. That's really interesting. They really decided down in Miami, our two wide receivers, those are our weapons, and we're gonna.
I don't think so.
Fill in the rest with guys, and I really think by signing those guys, they're really indicating that we are not going to draft a running back. Maybe they will. I don't know, but it doesn't.
Yeah,
they were for me.
They've got everything covered, right? Mostert's that speed, quick guy. Jeff Wilson, he can do your checkdowns. They can both block. It's just going to be interesting to see how it plays out fantasy value wise. Personally, I've owned Jeff Wilson for a couple years in a couple different leagues, and I got him really cheap because nobody else cared about him, and he has been a pleasant surprise. You're who's starting for San Fran this week? It's Jeff Wilson. Boom, plug him into my flex. I don't know. And Gaskin.
No, totally. The Miami running back room is going to be really interesting, and it looks like it's just going to be those two guys again. Obviously,
Chase Edmonds got cut.
And Gaskin.
They cut Chase Edmonds.
Miles Gaskin. That's unreal. He still gets another contract. Good for him.
They might have added something.
Did the Broncos do anything running back? What? Huh?
I'm
Chase
trying.
Edmonds, yeah, I knew that. But did they add a guy? I thought I saw some.
It was somebody that, if you're starting them, your team's bad.
If you want
That's
to pull
what
that
I
up,
thinking.
they added someone kind of as a or just as kind of a supplement dude, and I can't remember who it was.
It is. If you're the Judy owner,
so
would you ship Judy for a first?
But that should be interesting. Hearing some rumors in Denver too of them
fantasy team
get a first for Judy, which I think is interesting.
What does a good first mean to you? Are we talking top 9, top 6?
That's another question in itself.
I mean, you're not getting top 3 for him.
A good first.
Yeah. Well, it depends on if they ship him. If Jerry Jeudy goes to the Panthers,
I mean, I think I'd rather have Jerry Jeudy than Jackson Smith-Njigba. I think, depending on where. Yeah.
I can't find anything about the Broncos acquiring a running back.
Yeah.
But it is tough to sit through all the other
Broncos
guys.
should keep Jerry Jeudy and ship Courtland Sutton, but that's just me. maybe totally tough.
I did not see that
how about
coming.
we get into some quarterbacks real
That
quick?
was shocking.
Than Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. A few signings. Jimmy G goes to the Raiders.
Yeah, but like
Baker
I would not have
Bucs.
predicted that signing
So we have
out
that.
of 10
Yeah,
different mocks,
well,
right?
they
Like
announced
that,
it a few days
that
ago.
caught me
Like
out
it was
off
kind of going
guard.
to happen.
Yeah.
But that's crazy.
I like it. I like it for Baker. I think that Kyle Trash, they may pretend that there is a QB competition, but it's Baker. I don't see a world where
Yeah, I
it's
think
not.
they may have just been looking for a guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Baker. This is really his Carson Wentz season
Yep.
in Washington. Like it's now like this is it. The fact that you got one last shot, and like he earned one last shot with the Rams list last year by being shockingly competent, and he's hopefully.
I think it's terrible. I think if I were a Raiders fan, I'd be upset. I think Derek Carr's a better quarterback. I don't get why you've moved off of Derek Carr just to go for like
what do you think
Jimmy
of
G, who is
the
very comparable
Vegas
and might win more games, but I think that most of his quarterback numbers are just worse, like across the board. And so you ditch a guy who's been all out for your franchise for a guy that's like the same thing, like at best. At best, Jimmy G is Derek Carr. And so, fantasy-wise, meh. Devontae Adams will be awesome. Josh Jacobs will be awesome. Jimmy G will finish at like QB 19 or something. Yeah.
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 That's kind of the Jimmy G thing. It'll be interesting. I don't love it either. I like it for a few reasons. One, Josh McDaniels is just trying to recreate the Patriots, which I find stupid. I also think that team just needs to tear it down. And Josh McDaniels needs to get fired. But we'll kind of see what happens with that. I think
on the day of his wedding, I do believe.
Devontae Adams will still be really good. Josh Jacobs will still be really good. And hopefully wherever they trade Hunter Renfrow, he'll be really good. And speaking of which, Darren Waller goes to the New York Football Giants.
Dude, split.
Yeah, well,
good news. It's not like
before,
their income dips a lot if you're
Kelsey
her
Plum,
career to follow
the
him to
University of Washington
New
turned
York.
Las Vegas Aces basketball star.
Oh man!
And
yeah, it's going to be just
now they're
breaking
separated.
the bank for that trade.
She'd be. I think she's going to force a trade to New York Liberty. Yeah. It's going to be mayhem in the WNBA market. Dude, I'd be honest, I really like that trade for the Giants. I'm a big fan of that trade. I think there definitely could be some Ravens in what the Giants are trying to do, in the sense of, hey, you have this quarterback that's really, I know it's Daniel Jones, but he's an elite athlete, and the tight end can be the wide receiver one. It can be a Mark Andrews situation.
We'll see.
And
Saquon is not
you
a
just
Giant,
have to have
correct?
guys around Jones that aren't terrible.
They did tag him.
That
That's
aren't
right.
Richie James. And if you can sign a couple of them,
I think
then you got to get it.
I think you're onto something, but also the Giants are so bad at picking receiving options right now. I think that Waller's a good grab as long as he stays healthy. But I think that wide receiver room has to flesh out before I will wave the flag if the Giants are good. I mean, yeah. Are they still going to have to pay Kenny Golladay money this year? He's still... They already did. I think they cut him today. Yeah. Yeah. So I want to see growth there. You're right though. It is good for Darren Waller. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true. You're right. I don't know what his dead cap hit is. It's
Yeah.
something, I think. But it's just, you have to cut him. Uh,
Yeah, and then famous Jameis stayed in New
yeah.
Orleans, correct?
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of that move at this point. We'll kind of see what happens. Any other
Yep,
quarterbacks?
on
making
third
moves?
string
Taylor
quarterback money.
Heineke went to Atlanta.
It is. It's a 1 year, like 3 mil or 5 mil. It's
There was
not
one
a
I
big
wanted to talk
contract.
about.
So I looked into it because
Sam
I was
Darnold
not
went to
stoked
San
as a Trey
Francisco.
Lance owner, and I've actually come to terms with this. It feels like San
interesting,
Fran's
though.
just
It-
trying
it's
to
a- it's a
avoid what
one-year
happened
deal.
last year.
It's a 1 year
They
deal,
have
right?
two quarterbacks that could be good. They could both end up being nothing, whatever. Right? Brock Purdy and Lance are both currently injured. They went and found a guy that can
Right.
be productive to fill out their roster a little bit. It feels safety net, not replacement. So,
Yeah, I would. I would tend to agree. It's just one of those. It's like Sam
and to me, the
Darnold
answer
played
for that is in the
just
money, and the
well
money
enough at the end
says,
of the year
I like the thing I was
to
reading. They compared him
make you
to a
think,
bunch of third string
man, are the
quarterbacks. Like,
Niners
look,
going to
this guy is not
actually
making
give him
anything.
some
If they
sort
were
of
bringing him
opportunity
in
to win this job,
to have a
especially
shot
if-
at taking over for
if,
Purdy or Lance or
Purdy's
whoever's
not gonna
healthy
be
at the
ready for
start of the
start
year, we would have expected somebody with a bigger contract. So there's safety in that. Now, it's also Kyle Shanahan. What do we know? For all we know, they're going to cut Trey Lance tomorrow and trade Brock Purdy, and Sam Darnold is San Fran's quarterback god. But for now, I'm sticking with it. So.
Yeah,
He recently said in an interview, he's like, Trey Lance deserves his opportunity. He'll be our guy at the start of the year. It was
Yeah.
Shanahan or the GM, yeah. It was right
it's
after
just,
the
it's concerned
signing,
me as
so.
someone who's tried to follow it.
That
It's
does
concerned
help.
me that I have not heard any
Yeah.
commitment to Trey Lance.
So
Did he say? I missed it. I missed that.
So that one's interesting. I have heard
Okay.
rumors that some of
I'm
these
happy to hear
real,
that
like
for
Jacoby
Trey Lance,
Brissett,
for sure.
who got signed by
Yeah, I'm happy to
the
hear that for
Panthers?
Lance.
Some garbage QB.
Let me think. Jacoby Brissett went to the Washington Football Commanders.
Yeah, but so there's a couple of more bunk teams that are acquiring not upgrades at QB, and the rumor is that is to add leverage against the Ravens if they're going to try and
I
acquire
don't
Lamar.
remember who got signed by the Panthers, but with the Panthers, I mean, they traded out.
Andy
so
Dalton.
they're gonna take some.
Gotcha. And so it's a theory. Like, I don't know if I agree with it, but it was really interesting. And then the Ravens, I believe, signed Tyler Huntley to an extended contract this morning or afternoon.
By the way,
Yeah.
it was Andy Dalton.
Yeah, which is
Went to
interesting.
the Panthers.
Yeah,
it was a little.
So
bit
I think it seems pretty clear as to what Lamar wants financially, and that
Lamar
the Ravens don't want to give
that
it to
Lamar
him.
situation
I
in
think the
terms of
lack of other
dynasty,
teams sending him offers
I don't think there's a lot
feels
to
borderline
discuss with it,
like league tampering
but
as far as
I
like
think the
he
situation
doesn't have an
is
agent, so they won't talk to him. He's very clear on what he wants. I don't know. It's interesting. I think it could be easy to paint Lamar as the problem here, but that's not the presence he's presented himself as in interviews and outside the locker room or even his teammates. So, I don't know. It doesn't feel Kyler Murray, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. They're, yeah, I was actually just going to bring that up. Kyler Murray is kind of a guy who seems to have some character flaws, like just immaturity, just lack of work ethic, and that's really not what we have here with Lamar. I think Lamar is. I don't. Arrogant probably would be a decent word to use. Maybe a little bit, just like too much of a chip on his shoulder. And, that's been kind of the theme his whole career. He comes into the league. Everyone's telling me I'm a running back. No, I'm going to be a quarterback, and proves everybody wrong. He refuses to be in, like, the Nissan Heisman commercials, even though he won the Heisman.
Yeah, I disagree. I think this all sorts itself out. He gets paid by a team.
Is this guy
and,
he does endorsements.
I think that we've seen a clear difference between getting paid Lamar and not paid Lamar. Different to Kyler Murray. Paid Lamar when he was a rookie, whatever, chip on his shoulder. He played lights out. Like he's trying to win the Super Bowl every game. And then last season, you could see him pull back. He is not taking those hits because he's not on guaranteed money. So it might just be me putting a positive spin. I'm going to finish. It might just be me putting a positive spin on it. But what I see is he wants to continue to play balls to the wall, all-out football. Every game's the Super Bowl. So he wants guaranteed money so that he knows if he gets hurt, he still gets paid. I'm cool with it. What I see, there might be drama off the field. It might take all offseason to sort out. But when Lamar signs his 3 to 5 year contract, I would start him immediately because he is going to play excellent football. This is as far from Kyler Murray as possible, who I actually think might be a trade now candidate. But he's not the first guy to do no agent, right? He's just the most high profile.
Yeah, no, that's a decent point, Kyler. I don't disagree necessarily. I think my main point is I think and a lot of people are underestimating the importance of an agent and why that's so important on so many levels. Probably the highest profile guy, the guy asking, because Roquan did it. So Roquan Smith is actually a funny comparison, and he's also on the Ravens. And one of the issues that Roquan Smith had, so there's one strategy that works when you don't have an agent. So, because the problem with when you don't have an agent is you're negotiating on behalf of yourself. And because of that, it becomes extremely emotional. And when you're negotiating, your team's going to tell you, here is why you're not worth the money that you think that you are. Now, when you have an agent, they tell your agent that, and so you don't have to get your feelings hurt. And so what happens is you get your relationship.
Sure, I get what you're saying,
and then
but I don't think that impacts his fantasy.
What a
output
horrible
at all.
thing!
I think that wherever he goes,
with your team that you're currently
he just wants guaranteed money. He's going to play football somewhere this year. I don't picture him being okay with sitting on the couch on some days.
So the Ravens actually benefited from that with Roquan Smith.
He'll be fine.
But now they're kind of reaping those same problems, and there's more problems than that too. Which I could list it.
And I'm saying there's no way he doesn't get his contract. Look at the state of the league. I mean, Kyle Trask was maybe starting. Dude.
I think so. He's that's the other thing about Lamar. He seems to be pretty principled. And if he doesn't get his contract.
Yeah. But a smart franchise isn't in a place of that desperation, right? Like the Browns aren't a smart franchise. Washington's not a smart franchise. It's one thing to be starting. It's one thing to pay. The only Green Bay is not going to go, ship Jordan Love and then move heaven and earth for Lamar. That doesn't make sense. But there's plenty of just dog water franchises out there that'll pay up. I am not worried about Lamar at all.
Like a smart franchise is not going to do
it.
It's going to be another Browns. Right, totally. It's going to be a desperate, cruddy franchise. Yeah. No.
How long does the non-exclusive franchise tag last? How long before he's a Raven again?
Yeah. Well,
Is there?
I don't disagree. I think if you have Lamar, I wouldn't worry about it. I think wherever he's going to go, he's going to be what it is. Now the injury concerns are the injury concerns, but it'll be interesting to see the next few days. Next year, I think this probably will be drawn out for weeks or months.
Yeah.
But
because the first round picks kind of reset.
How long?
Yeah.
That's a good question, actually. Like, when can teams stop negotiating?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Gino, did we talk about Gino?
I think it's pretty long.
I think it's been long enough that we haven't.
And so the other thing that's interesting about the tag...
Gino signed a 3-year deal in Seattle. As a Gino owner, expect 2 years out of him. His third year, he will get traded to another team. And whatever rookie Pete Carroll has drafted
the draft, they could be.
Will be the starter.
Because for 2024 and 2025.
Yeah.
So...
But I think that this locks in that Gino's got value. If he plays lights out again this year, he'll have value again next year. I mean, it's a gamble every year, but I think that Gino plays football till the wheels fall off. Now, is that going to be 1 season or none seasons or 6? I don't know. But it'll be a great ride. So,
yeah. Might not even be a trade. It might just be straight cut. It's pretty much a 2-year deal.
Oh, a lot. Ooh. Yeah, I could do a decrease. I think Jacoby Myers to the Raiders does not help him at all. I don't think that he gets better.
Totally.
Jimmy G can't support 2 wide receivers.
Because we're getting towards the end of our time.
Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, congratulations. You'll finish at the upper end of your positions.
That has
Jacoby Myers
increased in value
trash.
A lot in your eyes because of free agency. It's tough. Sure, do it. Start with the decrease. Yeah.
Yeah. That is a good one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Don't disagree with that.
If I'd thought of
think
that,
one
I'd take
for
that.
me, probably, I was really low on Miles Sanders. And I think the Panthers signing.
I was just thinking that today. I was like, oh man, if you have running back shares in Texas
there's no one else
or in Atlanta, because it's kind of a similar situation.
So
you're just praying every time.
He's a big winner.
Running back, breaking news. You're like, please, Lord, not my God.
Yeah. One guy we've been going back and forth in the group chat about.
Yeah,
that I think
Chiefs running backs are trash until proven otherwise.
Minefield is Tyler Algier, man. They did not. They haven't signed a running back yet.
Yeah.
You're right, Damian Pierce. Yep. Isaiah Pacheco, like all these guys, you're just hoping like that they just exactly. So it'll be interesting. Just to talk on because I was thinking about
to like target for running back in the draft.
They're not really in Bijan territory with their draft picks. So I'm
but you're not going to feel you're not going to be excited about.
But they are
you're going to be
nervous.
That
next tier territory where they can take a running back in that early second round kind of area.
I do think I picked my winner, by the way.
I think
Baker. I think it's Baker. I think Baker's a good quarterback. The Browns are a poverty franchise. They threw him to the wind.
But some of the other
guys think that he can go prove something. What's he going to prove? I don't know. But I think if you're a Baker owner, his value was non-existent before, and it just he's a starter now.
About that because he's such a small. No, I wouldn't be. Of course, I wouldn't be dying though.
Yeah.
Okay, go. Yeah, what's your winner?
Yeah. Potential winner? Oh. I think...
Yeah, Baker Mayfield, I think...
David Montgomery's a guy worth watching.
He is
So Swift has just got some horrible injury
That's what he
issues.
is.
He's great on the
Until proven
field for 3
otherwise,
games a year. Other
he
than
will
that, I mean,
finish
he's butt kissed. And
probably
they signed
in that
Monty to a 3-year deal,
7
so
range.
that's worth watching. Would I go trade for
maybe
him?
higher
No.
than 6.
I already own him, so I'm along for the ride. I'm not going to target him, though.
And that's okay. We need quarterback threes.
I think Monty could be a winner.
And this will...
What broke?
Oh, no, go for it.
P.J. Walker? Yeah.
No. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting to see, but I don't really care.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Very lame one. Yeah, PJ Walker. Lame one. So PJ Walker will go back up.
Yeah.
It's good for PJ Walker.
Oh, Hunter Renfrow. He's a giant loser right now. Until they cut ties with him.
Nothing that shatters the base or football landscape. So
yeah.
Google. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any specific losers.
Yeah, he did very clearly. Yeah.
That I can think of. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I mean, DeAndre Swift's a huge loser. That's a massive loser. Yeah, right now. I think he. I've got him on a Google search notification. I think. Yeah, I think just based on the situation, and this is like Josh McDaniels just wants his guys. Like that's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
it's his guys.
I don't know how to
best
tell you. So, like, you know me. I've been on the Michael Thomas train.
I do
right?
anticipate that.
And when I sold you my shares, that was not half of my shares. That was like a third, right?
I'm trying to think of.
Don't get your hopes up. If he plays 2 games this year and gives you 40 points total, be really excited about that, because I think he's a con artist and he is scamming.
Parker.
The Saints are just paying him to.
Here's one. Here's an interesting one. Chris Olave.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas getting re-signed. That's I know.
Yeah. Yeah. And if Slint God's back, that's awesome. I am excited. That is fantasy gold. If he's not back, I don't want him to hurt my feelings again, man. Like,
yeah, no, fair. I mean, there was clear. Yeah. It seemed to me that it was pretty clear that Derek Carr going to.
You do wonder.
Going to New Orleans had a little bit of a contingency that, hey, I want Michael Thomas here. I don't want to be just throwing to Chris Olave and nobody else.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, Coach, I think I have a concussion. I can't play the rest of the game.
Totally.
Like, yeah.
Well, I do wonder, I always sort of wonder with players, because I sort of get it if they just refuse to play.
There's a Dynasty League where 2 years in a row I thought I was making a run at the championship, and Michael Thomas was a key to that. And 2 years in a row I missed the playoffs. And year 2 I wised up and I sold the ship, right? Like I sold a bunch of assets and I'm rebuilding so that Michael Thomas is no longer necessary. But he's just a bad
likely story, Slant, man.
Not it, man.
Yeah, sorry, Jameis, Leprechaun, Dalton.
Dude.
Throw me the ball.
Glad to be back. Yeah. You can't see them because they're in my pants, but I am crossing my fingers. Yeah, peace.
I'm sorry. Yeah. He is the worst. But anyway, guys, I don't want to keep us all tonight, but this is a great episode. Hopefully it downloads correctly. Everyone cross your fingers that we get to. That's how it be. Peace out, everybody.